It's the day we've all been waiting for. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It is Daytona Day, the first round of the first ever DriveThrough NR 2003 Tuesday afternoon sim series. And oh baby, we've got a cracker of a race ahead of us. 100 laps at Daytona. There's going to be carnage. We've already seen a few little accidents, but with all 42 cars on track at once, I think we're in for a hell of a show. Oh, baby. So, we just have happy hour underway right now. Of course, the starting positions have already been determined from the dual races. And we'll get started pretty quickly here. I just have to pause for 1 second as I get my entry list up. I hope you guys are excited as I am for this because we've been waiting 2 weeks.
Oh, you can't do that.
Thank you, Will Stukes, for subscribing. I appreciate that. All right. I think it's time to get this race underway. First, let's go through the qualifying results. Or, not really the qualifying results, but
Remember, one switch at a time, turning your stuff on.
the starting order as determined by the dual races. The first row obviously is the first and second qualifying positions, and the rest of the field is decided from the duels. So, starting at the back, had a little bit of problem with crashing in the duels, but looking to improve his position today. The number 2 Snap-on Tools Ford Fusion. It's Luke Rainey. In the number 8 John Deere Chevrolet Camaro, it's KHP01. Also had some trouble in the duels. Looking to have a better performance today. They've been working on the car overnight. Should be good. Number 23 to AFK Master, driving Ford Fusion, sponsored by DLP Texas Instruments. Got in based off of his qualifying time as the drivers start up their engines. Got in off of qualifying time. Had some problems in the duels, and Cody missed the start, so we're gonna
Okay, buddy, fired up. Remember, one switch at a time, turning your stuff on.
let's pick up where we left off. Where were we? Number 61 of Pure.
Start your engines.
Also looking to pick up some spots today. The 55 of Rusty Fighter 89. Also got involved in some of those early dual wrecks. Number 84 of F1 Fan 2751. Starting at 37th. And 36th, it's that Dale Earnhardt throwback, number 3 of NASCAR Lover 201. And of course, the number 77 of DriveThrough, starting all the way back in 35th position. The number 44 of the NASCAR Kumon Cup Series had a good run in the duels, but just got caught up in a wreck. So he'll be starting back in 34th, alongside the 57 of Michael Deitch, starting 33rd. Adra Fitzy in the 04, starting 32nd. And Mike PMC in the number 13 Camaro, starts in 31st. Spitfire 4456 starts in 30th. And then Cody H Gaming, who did make the start of the race, starting in 29th, behind the number 29 of Motorsport Fan 9. The number 6 UPS Dodge of Mick Spook Boy, starting in 27th. In 26th, it's the number 38 of La Flynn Zone in that Crown Royal Chevrolet Camaro. Then it's Hunter B, starting in 25th. 24th is Mitchell Collins. 23rd is Racer Fan 99. 22nd is the 25 of Nan Kraka in that really colorful Santa Cruz Skateboards Camaro. 21st is one of the outside top 35 cars that got in based on the duels. It's the number 7, Chase the Coyote. And then the number 9 of Fireball 398 starts 19th. What Incarnation starts 18th. I missed Janza for some reason, but he's there starting 20th. I'm going to have to pause for a second before they go to the green just so I can get through everybody. Fireball 398 starts in 19th, right. What Incarnation starts 18th, and then it's Asteroid Strike 9 at 16th. DNP 10 in that number 18 Toyota starts in 16th. And ahead of him, Anthony Plays 32 in that Walmart 32 Chevy. And then it's Emmett Lashbrook in the 08. Got into the 250 based off of his qualifying time, but then also put out a really good run in the duels. So looking to get a lot of points for a outside top 35 driver in that Fitbit number 08. On the inside of him, it's Xander M in the 01 Doritos Ford. Starting on the outside, row 6, Jesse Boston in the number 30 Dr. Pepper Ford Fusion. On the inside, it's number 81 of Thick Daddy. Starting in row 5, number 20 of Ben Pye 1024. Alongside the 00 of Julio Cesar. Had a great run in the duels. He was at the front all day long. Starting on row number 4, one of the outside top 35 drivers. In fact, one of the last ones to sign up. It's the number 85. Hello, I am you, driving the Bell Helmets Dodge. That paint scheme, I think, was thrown together last minute. It's really just a white car with some logos on it. On the inside of him, it's the big one 5395 in that McDonald's Dodge. He had a great run in the duels. He's been at the front all day. That car is strong. Starting in row 3 on the outside is number 12 of Anderson Reed. The only driver, apart from the 45, to lead a lap in the second duel. Another very strong car. Look out for him today. Starting on the inside, the highest or the best placed of our outside 35 drivers in the duels, it's the number 83 of Midlife 9999 in the dustless blasting Toyota Camry. Starting in row 2 and absolutely dominating the second of the 2 Gatorade duels, it's the Emperor Hirohito in that rainbow-looking Featherlight Luxury Coaches Toyota Camry. On the inside, it's the driver who dominated the first of the 2 duels. It's Priya McShane in the number 42 Ineos Chevrolet Camaro. On the outside, it's Jonatron 88. Had a great run in qualifying, the highest of any of the outside top 35 drivers. Qualified second place. Had a bit of a quiet run in the duels, probably just sitting back because he knew he was already in the show. And starting on pole, it is Derek in the number 99 Flex Seal Ford Fusion. Had a great qualifying run. Also kind of held back during the duels, but he's really looking to get out here, stay out front in the Daytona 250. So, the cars come out of turn 4. The lights on the Chevrolet Camaro pace car are turned off. We are getting ready to go racing. Again, it's 100 laps here at Daytona. The pace car pulls in. And green flag. Green, green, green. Here we go. The DriveThrough Sim Series has officially started. Derek with a great start out front. And immediately, Priya McShane in the 42 gets to the bottom of the 99, looking to continue her dominant performance. As this pack is already stringing out 3 wide and a little bit of contact between the 45 and the 85 on the very first lap. I told you we're in for an intense race. These guys are already running into the sides of each other, and this pack is 3 wide, maybe 4 wide in some spots. As Priya McShane out front, trying to lead the very first lap of the very first race of the very first DriveThrough Sim Series. And look at the pack behind them. Oh, and there's a wreck already. On lap 1, the 29 and the 23 go around. And that looks like an early end of the day for Motorsport Fan 9. Oh boy. Lap 1 and they can't make it without wrecking. My goodness. The 29 with a lot of damage and the 23 as well. And it looked like the 44 has a bit of damage, as does Michael Deitch in the 57. Not the way they wanted their season to start, I'm sure. So caution is out on lap number 2. 78 of Hunter B, also with a whole bunch of damage. They're actually racing to the line still. These leaders come around. Now they're still bunching up for the caution, and oh boy, let's go back and take this apart. I knew these guys were aggressive going 3 wide like that. I did not think they would wreck that early in the race. So let's look. You've got Michael Deitch on the inside, the 29 in the middle, and then Flynn Zone in the 38 on the top side. It looks like Deitch kind of gets out of line a little bit. And it's actually the 48 of Spitfire that gets into them. So it looks like Deitch gets out of the line. The 48 kind of follows him, and these guys are trying to go 4 wide here. DriveThrough's getting his bumper on the inside. And the 29 gets turned in the 57. Off the front of Flynn in the outside wall. Adria Fitzy also with some damage. And the 23 of to AFK Master, just nowhere he could go. That's really, really unfortunate for these guys. Let's watch that again. That's a hard hit in the outside wall for the 29. And the 2 of Luke Rainey also with a whole bunch of damage. If you thought there was anywhere safe on this track, the back of the pack is definitely not it. Luke Rainey running in last place on the outside and just nowhere he could go. He was already to the bottom of the 23, but when AFK Master got in that wreck, he went down, and that is that. So Michael Deitch with significant damage. Same with the number 38 of Flynn. Let's go on board here. And that's just the wrong place at the wrong time. Wow. Really, really unfortunate for them. So how did Hunter B get this damage? Because I didn't think the 70 was involved at all. Wow. I don't know how to explain that. Hunter just... He's in front of the wreck here. Maybe he touches the apron and goes up the track, but he really gets that outside wall hard in a kind of a weird spot. Maybe he's looking in the mirror and he's distracted, but I mean, that's a significant amount of damage. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. So, as the caution comes out, we'll jump back to real time as these guys will catch up to the pacing line. Yeah, that's certainly a weird one. You can see the 38 of Flynn with a whole bunch of damage. And that 23. And Priya McShane in the 42 pulling into the pits? Interesting. So it looks like a few of these drivers are trying to extend their runs maybe. Get some early pit stops in. The 98 going for a splash and go. So is the 42. The 01 is in the pits. The 32 as well. It looks like about half of the pack here is going to come in, get a splash of fuel, and try to extend their run a little bit, because it may prove useful in the future. So a bit of a gamble, as we're only on lap 4 here, but if the whole pack stays together, it's not like they'll lose a whole lot of time. Track position isn't that important here at the restrictor plate races. And the first hot rod out of the pits is the number 77 of DriveThrough, missing the entire front end. That's a lot of damage. And it looks like the 78, the 23, getting a whole lot of repairs done. So, what a weird call. So the cars who pitted, I believe, are the ones on the inside here. Priya actually managed to get out of the pits before a lot of these guys caught up, because that first group of cars raced to the line. Everyone else was already sort of at a pacing speed. So that might actually be a decent call by the 42 crew chief. Because right now, that's going to put her in... I gotta find out what position, actually. In the top 15. With an extra 3 laps of fuel compared to everyone around her. So the 42 pits, the 01, the 98, the 32, and then everyone back here. So the 81, Jenza in the 47, one Incarnation in the 24, Mitchell Collins in the 10, and Jesse Boston in the 30. All opting for a pit stop. As I think Jesse's a little bit out of position. These guys are still sort of filtering themselves out. And then, of course, all the damaged cars came into the pits to get some repairs. And F1 fan 2751 in the 84 is having some problems in the pits. I mean, that's a long pit stop. If he's not careful, they're going to lose a lap here. And I think he will lose a lap. The whole field is coming around the tri-oval now, and the 84 is just stuck in the pits. I'm not sure what kind of a problem it is, but it's pretty significant. So we're going to jump to the present here, as the lights are off in the pace car, and they have the 1 to go. The 84 is still in the pit box. So he's 2 laps down now, and that's definitely the end of any sort of competitive run that 84 can put together. So retirees, the number 29 of Motorsport Fan 9, who we saw had a lot of damage involved in that wreck, and the number 57 of Michael Deitch. He got squeezed up into the wall. It didn't look like he had a whole bunch of damage, but it could be something really significant that's just not working on that car. So both of their days ending on, well, within the first 5 laps of this race. That 84 is... They're really having trouble here. And it looks like now they're going to put tires on it and maybe head out. But this pace car is already coming into turn 3 now, so... They put right side tires on it, and hopefully F1 fan can catch up back to the pack and maybe over the course of this race get those 2 lap backs, but it'll be tough. Especially with no lucky dog or wave around rules. So now, leading the race for the first time, the number 83 of Midlife 999, as we're getting ready to go green. Maybe we'll get some green flag racing. We really haven't seen any yet. So as they enter the tri-oval, led by the 83, green flag waves, and we are back racing here in the Daytona 250. Already Jonatron in the 88, looking to the inside, diving to the bottom of the track, trying to make a move for the lead. The 88 with a push from the 9 on the bottom as they come down the backstretch, trying to jump out in the lead, but Fireball's going to make them 3 wide for the lead. As this whole line of cars will snake its way down the backstretch. 3 wide at the front of the pack. With Fireball 398 and the 9 on the bottom. Jonatron in the middle and Midlife 9999 on the high side. The 9 will move up the track, and it's the number 7 of Chase the Coyote who moves to the front of that bottom line. Started in 21st, and with only a few laps of green flag racing, already finding himself in the lead of this race. These guys got to be careful running 3 wide. We've already seen what can happen. The 22 of RacerFan99 at the front for the first time today. And he's going to have a look to the bottom of the track. Chase might not even lead a single lap here. Side by side at the front, and then 3 wide behind them. As these guys are really aggressively moving around. We're only on lap number 9 here out of 100. The 18 of DNP10 with a push from the 20 now on the bottom of the track. Maybe having a look at the lead. Seen a lot of shuffling going on at the front. This pack hasn't quite strung out yet. And now the 18 is going to move to the top of the track. The 20 of Ben Pie maybe getting around on the bottom, or even the 6. 3 wide yet again for the lead. This time it's McSpookboy on the bottom. And we're seeing some of these cars. Oh, the 25 gets turned by Cody H Gaming. Maybe he's going to have to find a way to get back in this pack here. They're going 4 wide. Here comes the 25 right in front of the pack. Oh no, the 83's involved. It's the big one at Daytona on lap 10 of 100. And there's still power. Oh god. Oh no. That's not a race. What? What? We can't do this. What was that? What was that? How does it? Okay, all right, okay. I know we're only 10 laps in, but we can't do that, right? We can't do that. There's no way we can do this. I think we might have a redo here. I think we might have a redo here. Otherwise, the 25 is gonna get, I mean, just beaten. I'm gonna have a fan vote on a redo. If y'all want a redo, put that in the chat, because I think I want to redo. This is, he goes off the inside wall and then just, I mean, I think that's a redo type thing right there. I'm not a big fan of redos, but we can't do that. There's no way we can do this. That I mean, the 47 just gets launched. What? Look, man, I did testing, and this did not happen during testing.
Big dick energy.
Why are you giving me money for that? It's the dumbest thing. I don't want to remember this moment.
Okay, buddy, fired up here. Remember, one switch at
But thank you for the toonie again, Adria. Let's just go to the start of the race, and there was some, I mean, craziness that happened, but that's not canon. That's not a thing. And we'll just all kind of forget that it happened and go on our merry way and start the actual race. And hopefully we don't get crazy carnage, we don't get dumb strategy. God damn it, I thought I tested this thing enough, but apparently not. I know people say anything can happen at Daytona, but that does not happen at Daytona. I'm sorry. We're getting ready to go green here in the very first race of the DriveThrough Sim series. Derek will take the field to the green flag, and we are racing, and already going 3 wide at the back. I think the 29 had a little bit of door slamming. That is a next if I've ever seen it. So now the 99 of Derek out front on this, the very first lap. But Priya McShane already putting pressure on. Hopefully this pack can go a few laps without crashing here, but... And it's Hirohito in the 45 to the bottom for the first time. For the first time, this is the first lap. Nothing else happened. Hirohito to the lead, trying to continue his dominant performance from the duels. But the big one in the 53 already looking at the bottom, and he's got a big line of cars behind him, being pushed by the 00 and the 01. And this pack is going 3 wide already, and you know this means bad news. The big 153.95 out front as we're on lap number 2 here, and this pack is tight. Three wide, solid through the pack, down the back straightaway. These guys in the middle with absolutely nowhere to go. Coming out of turn 4, maybe without wrecking. Maybe. We're getting through cleanly. Hopefully we can get through enough laps here so the pack starts to spread out a little bit and then we don't get the death that we had before. But it's still looking really sketchy. Not going 4 wide yet, which is good. But there's a whole lot of action in the pack here. And it's still pretty solid 3 wide. This is more like the racing we want to see. Less caution laps, more action. And the big one pulling away from the pack. The 00 of Julio Cesar and the 30 of Jesse Boston sort of keeping up with him. And then it's What Incarnation in the 24 in 4th place as we start lap number 4 of 100 here at Daytona. Jesse Boston to the inside looking for that 2nd place. What Incarnation has a peak to the bottom, but none of them end up making a pass. Julio Cesar keeps that spot. And if he can get a run on the 53 here, maybe you go with the lead. And this pack behind them still going 3 wide. And a little bit of contact between the 42 and the 45, or the 42 and the 81. But nothing resulting from it. So the big one, 53.95, still way out front. Jesse Boston has made his way into 2nd place, but that 53 is really pulling away from the field. As finally this pack starting to spread out a little bit, we're seeing less 3 wide racing, and I think less of a chance of carnage. Can I do 2 wide starts? No, I can't. That's just literally not possible. I would if I could, but you know. Still 2003 rules. It's not a thing. We're seeing 2 lanes of racing now, deep into the pack. And the big one still way out front. It's Chase the Coyote in that number 7 car, doing the best of the outside top 35 drivers at this point. In 2nd place, no one has been able to touch the 53. And now it's Jesse Boston coming in 2nd. These guys are really battling a lot for 2nd, but not really putting a challenge to the 53 out front. The big one's still way out front here. And we're seeing a little bit of 3 wide racing again as the 25 of Non-Croc out of the bottom, along with the 08 of Emmett Lashbrook. But as we approach lap 7 here, still no carnage, and I think that's a good thing. So now Non-Crocker at the bottom, Jesse Boston here for 2nd place. But that 53 is just way out front. Untouchable, if I might say. And this pack is going 3 wide again. Seeing a lot of aggressive moves. People weaving back and forth on the back straightaway. And we get Luke Rainey in the number 2, who started all the way in dead last in 42nd position, has just been making his way through the pack as they're going 3 wide again. He's in 9th place. In only 8 laps from the back of the pack into the top 10, and now gaining even more positions. The Pure of 61 also started all the way at the back, started 39th, and he's making great progress. Maybe some of this 3 wide racing is making for some opportunistic moves. As now Emmett Lashbrook is in 2nd, and Flynn is in 3rd, and then What Incarnation back up to 4th. But none of these guys can work together and try and get past the 53. Either that, or at this point in the race, they know it's not best to be well, maybe not best to be way out front. There's no real sense of urgency, I think. Pretty sure these drivers want to be near the front, but maybe not necessarily in first place. As they come down the back straightaway again. They're going 3 wide. No, only 2 wide for second. And Luke Rainey from 42nd now up into 3rd place. A little bit of contact between the 23 and the 81 coming out of turn 4, but it looks like everyone's okay. Look at the lead that the 53s managed to keep here. That's unbelievable. I thought we'd get a lot of shuffling of the leader here, but maybe the 2 can put up a fight because he's shown clearly that he is one of the fastest cars on the track. I guess after that damage in the duels, they've really worked on that 2 car. Luke Rainey trying to close that gap down to the leader. And he's really done it. I don't think anyone's been this close to the 53 for a number of laps. As we're on lap number 11 of 100 here. But Flynn is also right with him. So if the 38 works with the 2, I'm sure he can put him in the lead. But he also might ditch the 2 and try to get a run at first himself. We'll see what happens as they come down the backstretch. Still staying in line for now. I think Luke had a good run, but decides to stay behind the 53. As this group of top 5 cars now pulling away from the pack. We see Pure in the 61 and Hunter B in the 78. And trouble maybe. The 8 gets turned off of the 88's bumper. Trying to get back on track. Be careful. And I think he gets away with it. Let's go back and check that replay. That really scares me. You can see the 88 of Jonatron going to the bottom of the track, but whoa, a little bit hesitant. Great job by the 8. That's KHP01. What a save. I mean, he was... Let's run on board with the 88. You can see he's got a run on the 8, goes to the inside, but just kind of hesitates, catches the rear corner there. Oh my goodness. How did they not wreck there? That is a save and a half. Wow. So let's go back to the present here. The only problem for the 8 and the rest of these guys at the back is because they had to check up, now they're sort of... I don't think they've lost draft quite yet, but sort of losing touch with the pack here. So that's the 12 of Anderson Reed, the 44 of Kumon Cup Series, NASCAR Lover 201 in the 3, Xander M in the 01, the DriveThrough 77, and McSpookboy in the 6. Just kind of running at the rear. But I think if they stay single file, they should be able to get back up to speed and catch the pack. So let's go back to the front. As, well, you guessed it, the 53 is still leading. Still way out front on lap 14 here. I mean, look at that gap. I think he's dominating more than the 45 and the 42 could do in the duels. There is so much speed in that 53 car. And these guys keep battling for second place instead of just laying back and making a move for the lead. Now remember, there's 5 bonus points for a leading lap and 10 points if you lead the most laps in the race. And at this rate, that 53 will have the 10 points no problem. Now on lap 15 here, this pack is starting to spread out. And I think that's a good thing, but 6 of McSpookboy just losing touch with the back. And we got trouble. Coming into turn 3, the number 78 of Hunter B is in the wall. But we're staying green. And that's going to slow down the pack behind him. The 88, the 13, the 10, all stuck behind him. I thought we'd get some green flag racing laps. And then maybe a caution, but... Again, it's that turn 3 safer barrier. This time it's the 42 of Priya McShane. Gets sideways. Saves it. And the whole pack has to check up. But I am amazed that was not a huge accident. Priya McShane and LaFlynn zone getting together. I mean, she was sideways in front of the pack. And these guys are still going. No caution at all. So let's go back to the present. Oh, no. Oh, no. We got a big wreck now. It's the 99 of Derek. The 29's involved. 77, huge damage. The 83 is under the wall. The 88's destroyed. The 13, the 81, 24 of What Incarnation. We have a big wreck, and now the caution is definitely out on lap number 17 here. Oh, no. We have a whole bunch of wrecked cars, including Priya McShane in the 42. Hard hits. Let's see what happened here. It's that turn 3 wall again. Priya and Derek getting together this time. Derek gets spun around, and this time they're not able to save it. They come down the track and collect 10, 15 cars. Wow. A hard hit. Oh my goodness. Let's take this one apart. This is the same spot we saw a lot of these guys wrecking in the duels. It's the number 99 of Derek. And he's just too far up the track. I mean, Rusty's there on the inside, but Derek shouldn't be that high. He definitely has space to run. And on lap 17, it's Priya McShane who just gets squeezed. Let's ride on board with the 42 here. Just squeezed up high, then spun around. Whoa, you saw the 88 sideways there. And I mean, on his side on the racetrack. And huge damage to that 42 car. I think she got hit from behind as well. That whole top line, just nowhere to go. You can see the 81, the 83, the 24. Oh, it's when that second group of cars comes in. And a hard hit for the 77. My goodness. So let's see what happened first of all to the 88, and then we'll go to the 77. On the high side, Jonathan here started in second. And it's... everyone's stuck on the top because they're going 3 wide. There's just nowhere for them to go. And just gets lifted up by the 12 and the 10. Heavy hit. And we're going to have a lot of retirements here. So let's go with DriveThrough. He's in the bottom lane, so you'd think he'd be safe. But he just gets turned by the 29, and... oh, that is a... hard hit. Almost made it through. Right in the outside wall. And oh, let's go on board with the 77, because that was a hefty collision. You can see the wreck happening on the top side. They all go to the bottom and just... oh, unlucky. 29 came down and just nowhere he could go. I think Sander M did a decent job of dodging this here. You can see the 83 comes down the track. I guess he made a little bit of contact, but not too much damage on that 01 car. So there are definitely a lot of retirements here. Midlife 9999 running so well, and a lot of damage there. The 42 is destroyed. After such a dominant performance in the first of the 2 duels, it's just a shame to see Priya go home after, what, 17 laps here? The 10 of Mitchell Collins definitely out. What Incarnation with a whole bunch of damage. And yeah. So let's see what these drivers do under caution now. It looks like everyone's going to pit after 17 laps. Absolutely the entire pack coming in. See what kind of strategies people run. Pit road is busier than ever before. And it looks like 4 tires for everyone going on the cars. Obviously damage repairs for those with damage. What just happened here? I think we've had a little bit of a pit road collision here between the 45 of Emperor Hirohito and the 08 of Lashbrook. Oh! That's some contact. 45 has to put it in reverse. 45 going into his box, the 08 getting out of his box. As more collisions here. Rusty Fighter in the 55 comes out in front of the 04. That was a pretty unsafe release if I've seen one. I mean, let's go on board with AJ here. And the 55 jumps out. Oh, nowhere the 04 could go. And then the 81 of Thick Daddy has to reverse to get in his box because the 25 is leaving his pit. What a crazy busy pit road as every single driver comes into pit. And the 45 having trouble. He's stuck in the pit box here. Hirohito, after dominating his duel. These duel winners are really unlucky today. They've got some sort of problem with that car. The 81 in the box as well. But he has a whole bunch of damage, so they have a lot of work to do on that car. The Priya McShane is still going. Missing the rear panel. I mean, the whole rear end is just crunched up. And with no minimum speed rule, I guess the 42 is still out there. The 83 of Midlife 9999. I mean, look at the... that deck lid is just channeling air out the rear of the car. Maybe it's a low drag setup. I don't know. But, wow. So, out front still is the big one, 53.95, as the lights are out in the pace car. Second place is to AFK Masters, Spitfire 44.56, exits the pits in third. Then it's Emmett Lashbrook in the 08, despite a little bit of contact in the pits. Michael Deitch in the 57. You can see Luke Rainey in the 2, Pure 61, Cody H Gaming. He's in the 8th place. The 85 with a little bit of damage on the right side. Should be alright. And then Julio Cesar rounds out the top 10. So we're going to start lap number 21 of 100 here. The pace car pulls into the pits. Green flag. We are racing yet again here at Daytona. And these guys are feisty. The 48, sorry, of Spitfire has been at the top, at the bottom, trying to make a move into second place. So let's go through. Retired from the race, the 77 of DriveThrough, the 10, that's Mitchell Collins. Hunter B in the 78 is out. The 88 of Jonatron, who we saw was, I mean, sideways at one point, is out. McSpookboy in the 6 is heading home. As is the 29 of Motorsport Fan 9. What Incarnation in the 24 is out of the race. Anderson Reed in the 12, we saw he had big damage. The 81 of Thick Daddy also destroyed. And because of his problems in the pits, Hirohito is now a lap down and all by himself. We think that car's still fast. I don't think he has any damage, but obviously some sort of mechanical issue or tire issue that they had to deal with in the pits. So the big one, 53.95, still out front. But here comes Pure in the 61 behind them. Did I see someone go way down low here? I did. What is going on here? The number 9 of Fireball 398. They're going 4 wide. Be careful. He was way down coming out of turn 2. I don't know what happened here. Let's watch the replay. He's got NASCAR all over 201 on the bottom. And whew, it just looks like he doesn't know he was there. I don't know if the spotter's having problems or what's going on, because he just squeezes the 3, almost gets turned. He's lucky that part of the track is paved. Runs across the grass a little bit and gets back on the track. That's a good save by Fireball. So let's go back to the live and see how we're doing up front. Finally, a new leader. It's the number 00. Julio Caesar can get to the bottom of the big one. Cody H Gaming behind him in second. And the big one, 53.95, is just getting shuffled back. And I think a lot of us will agree it's about time he does. He dominated the first quarter of this race. And now just put on the outside alone, 3 wide. I don't think he has any friends on track right now. So Julio Caesar are going to lead a few laps here. Pulling away a little bit, but Cody H Gaming in that 28 right behind him. As this group behind them going 3 wide again. The 00 and the 28 way out front. See if Cody can make a move for the lead here. With no sort of pressure behind him, he might have a run down the back straight. Single file here at the front yet again. Cody not really catching up to the 00, and non-croc on the 25 is going to have a look at that second place. I don't think Cody had a very good run out of turn 2 and just unable to make a move for the lead, and as such is going to get shuffled back here. So let's look to the back of the pack where the 13 of Mike PMC with a whole bunch of damage is running way off the pace. Emperor Hirohito in the 45 is, I think, only a lap down, but on his own and just falling back, really. We've seen Priya McShane get a whole bunch of damage. I'm amazed that car is still rolling. Off the pace, but still putting some laps in. As is the 83 of Midlife 9999. And Derek with a whole bunch of damage as well. We can see the 85 of Hello I'm You. Had a decent pit stop, but just slowed down by damage. Same with Flynn in 38. Everybody else still with this pack. And out front, still Julio Caesar. As Anthony Plays is going to have a look at second place. Now Crockett is going to get shuffled back a little bit. But we're seeing, yet again, the first place driver able to kind of pull away here. Or not really pull away, but not really be under attack. But the 32 of Anthony Plays is closing that gap a little bit. And he doesn't have a lot of pressure behind. See if he jumps to the inside. Not yet. He's going to stay in line behind the 00. Maybe have a chance to make a move coming down the backstretch here. The 32 right on the bumper of the 00. As what remains of the pack races down the back straightaway. Still no move for the lead. we've had one caution, and I'm amazed it's only one caution, because I mean we've had a lot of like close calls, but I think we're gonna approach some of this lap traffic soon, so it's gonna get a little bit tense. The 13 of Mike PMC is definitely the slowest car on track, as he is like 6 seconds almost off the pace. And down the back straightaway comes the pack led by 00 Julio Cesar. You see Kumon Cup Series in the 44 and Chase the Coyote in the 7 doing the best they've done all day, but the 53 is putting a little bit of bumper here, trying to make his way back to the front of the pack. This pack is doing a little bit less 3-wide racing now, and this spread out, I think they'll be able to actually get a lot of speed together. Maybe set some really fast lap times here. As the 9 of Fireball 398, after an amazingly close call coming out of turn 2, has slowly worked his way back up through this pack. He's moving forwards, and now they're going 3 wide again. It's the big one on the bottom. But I think Kumon's going to stay in front. He will. 2 lanes back in the pack, and the leaders are catching up to the 13, who is really slow and not getting out of the way. This is going to bunch the pack up. And what side are they going to go on? He's at the top, he's at the bottom. It looks like he's trying to block everybody. They're bunched up 3 wide, and Mike is just sitting on the bottom side. The 13, a lap down now, does not have a lot of friends in the pack, and that's going to maybe allow the 32 to get the lead. Anthony plays with a push from the 8 on the bottom versus Julio Cesar and Chase the Coyote on the top. And that 00 is going to get a push and stay in the lead. No! Chase goes to the bottom. He's going to have a look at his first place here. We may have another lead change as they come out of turn 4. The whole pack back here is losing time now, stuck behind the 13. Mike PMC is... I mean, he might need some security when he gets out of the car today. Because, I mean, the 44, the 22, Racer Fan 99, Andrew Fitzy's still stuck behind him. And now finally get past. And this pack that was so tight is now spread way out. And Chase the Coyote in the number 7 Puma Toyota. Way out front now. But yet again, we have more slow lap traffic in the form of Priya McShane in the 42. And gets hit by the 7. And Chase has damage now. The leader has just been, I mean, totally blocked. And with that damage, I think the 7's going to be slow now. That might be the end of his competitive run here. That either the 42 spotter wasn't letting her know of the leaders, or I think Chase thought she was going to stay up high, but I mean, that 7 is clearly off the pace now. You can see how much the hood has popped up there. Oh boy, more lap traffic drama here. As we are 1/3 of the way into the Daytona 250. It's amazing we've had only one caution, because there has been action all over the track. And drama now for Chase the Coyote in that number 7 car. I mean, he's one of those outside 35 drivers. He needs to score well in this race if he wants a chance at getting out of that bottom group of cars in the points. But with the damage that he's got, I don't think he'll have a chance. Oh boy. Well, that's certainly dramatic, and I think the 7 crew and the 42 crew are going to have a little chat pretty soon. As now, Julio Cesar has a huge gap on the pack. As Oh, the field is caught up to F1 fan, and that... No, he's not in... Who's a lap down here? Someone's a lap down here. I'm confused. This pack got held up by someone. Oh. Where were they? It's the 83 that the pack caught up to, and they got, I mean, all stuck behind Midlife 9999 in that damaged number 83 car. And that's going to spread them back out here. And it's Ben Pye who's made his way into second place, but Asteroid Strike 9 going to the bottom, and these are cars that we haven't seen at the front all day. And now because the 00 is so far out front, these guys have a huge run on the leader. But Julio Cesar doing a good job of blocking all of the lanes. They're going 3 wide behind him. As out of turn 4 we go. On to lap number 37. Julio Cesar leading a handful of laps. That 00 has been fast. The 53 has been fast. And when these cars get out front, it's like they can't be touched. But here comes the 44. He made that 3 wide move on the bottom. Maybe he'll get enough draft down the backstretch. Kumon Cups here is trying to lead a lap here. Won't be able to make the move just yet. That 00 is fast on the backstretch. But the 98 of Asteroid Strike 9 is caught up to this leading pair, and caution's not out, but looks like we've had some sort of spin out. We saw tire marks, and we saw Mike PMC with a whole bunch more damage. I mean, look at how slow he's going. Let's check the replay here. I don't know what happened. It's Flynn and the 38. These are 2 damaged cars racing at the back. And that might be a little bit of payback for something, because it definitely looks like the 38 came up, despite the speed difference. And no caution, because there's no one else around. I think that's a good call to not throw the caution out and not ruin this whole race. Mike PMC with a whole bunch of damage, and these lappers having trouble getting around him. Going very, very slowly. And he's back to pack up. That 13 is so far off the pace. I wish I could black flag him. He's certainly done a good job of bunching this field back up. I mean, that car is so immensely slow, and now with even more damage, I think they might be going 3 wide for the lead, though. Asteroid Strike 9 to the bottom. These 4 cars that managed to get around the 13 faster than everyone else did. Really pulling away from the field now. And it's 2 Fords on the inside, 2 Toyotas on the outside. Julio Cesar still stays in the lead of the race. And Kumon Cup Series goes top to bottom, trying to get a look. Going 3 wide, can't quite make the move, but he will end up pushing Asteroid Strike 9 into the lead of the race. And these guys way out front of the pack, but that pack will catch up, and they're catching up to the number 85, Hello I'm You, who's another slow, damaged car who they're going to have to get past. The 98 goes high, and he might use the 85 as a bit of a pick here and get the 44 of Kumon Cup Series stuck on the bottom, and he will. Asteroid Strike 9, a little bit of strategic positioning with this lap traffic into the lead of the race. And the 00 of Julio Cesar manages to stay in second, and he might have a bit of a run at the 98 here. There's a good gap there. And with the draft, he should be able to pick up some speed. As now the rest of the pack struggles to get around the 85. It looks like the front is the place to be, because the further back you are, the more trouble you get getting around these lapped cars. Julio Cesar with a big run on the 98 to the bottom of the track, trying to take the lead back. As they come through the tri-oval on lap number 42, another lead change and the 00 back out front. Julio Cesar now with Kumon Cup Series behind him. The 44 goes to the bottom, as does Ben Pye in the 20. Kumon Cup Series just trying to lead his first laps. And now on the bottom of the track, but they're catching up to the 99 and the 45. Coming out of turn 4, they're side by side for the lead. Julio Cesar just nosed it out front. I don't even know who's going to lead this lap. It's going to be the 00. Kumon Cup Series just looking for those 5 bonus points, trying to lead a single lap here.
Happy birthday, Trevor Bay, 20 years old.
Thank you, Butch Hartman, for subscribing. And now Kumon's going to get stuck behind the 99, and the 00 will stay in the lead. Weaving through this slow lap traffic, Julio Cesar getting back out front, and the 44 hasn't led a lap yet. See if the 20 of Ben Pye can...
Oh, he can't do that.
Thank you, Creed Daniel, for subscribing. We'll see if the 20 can maybe make a move at the front here. Nothing yet. Now to the bottom of the track. Ben Pye, 10:24. Gonna try at the lead here. Julio Cesar has been... I mean, he's been passed a few times, but he gets right back to the front no matter what. And Ben is going to stay on the bottom here. Oh, and they're catching up to Priya. 20's going to have to get around her somehow. Hopefully these guys don't damage themselves in the 42 again. Around the outside goes Ben Pye, 10:24 to lead his first laps of the Daytona 250. And this pack is, well, it's held up again. As a little bit of contact between the 44 and the 42. I don't think Kumon Cup Series is very happy with the way Priya's been driving around slowly here. I don't think anyone's very happy with the way the 42 has been driving around slowly. And now, I mean, holding up 2 lines of cars. These guys have nowhere to go now. And the 84 is also a lap down. No, he's not. That was a different life. The 84 is in 5th place. Never mind. The 45 is a lap down. Hirohito on the outside, but with no damage, he's still able to keep up speed. It's the 42 is just slow, and Asteroid Strike 9 is really suffering now. Losing a handful of positions. As this pack spreads out, Julio Cesar trying to get himself back in the lead. That 00 at the front all day. Down the back straightaway, this pack now single file almost, as Janza up into 4th place. He just barely made the show off of the second of the duels. That 47's been pretty quick. He hasn't been at the front all day, but probably racing smart, getting through this lap traffic, and now in a pretty good position. And here comes Ben Pye back for the lead. Now we're seeing a lot of lead changes, that this pack is spread out. These guys out front are able to make moves without a whole lot of pressure from 3rd place. And Ben Pye back to the lead. As they snake down this backstretch. The 20 leads, and Kumon Cup Series in 2nd again. And up into 3rd is NASCAR Lover 201. But they're catching up to the 13 again, and I think this pack is getting a bunch right up. Kumon Cup Series goes to the bottom. Ben Pye's trying to cover, but they're now all caught behind the 13. And the whole pack is, well, back together yet again. As the 13 moves high on the backstretch, these guys are trying to find a line around him, but coming out up front, it's Kumon Cup Series in the 44 and Janza in the 47. The 44 is just trying to lead a single lap, but moved up high coming into turn 3, the 47 to the bottom, and left all alone on the high side. Coming out of turn 4, Janza's going to lead this lap. And Julio Cesar back up into second. And I'm hearing there's a wreck on the track, maybe. Yes. The 13 of Mike PMC. Michael Deitch is involved. The 99 of Derek. And the 3 of NASCAR Lover 201. And caution will be out on the track. A lot of damage for Michael Deitch. And I think that's the 3rd incident now that Mike PMC has been involved in. I mean, that car's destroyed. So, lap 49 of 100. We're halfway through this race almost, and caution comes out. Let's see what happened. That 13 blocking the pack, and I think NASCAR Lover came down on him in the 3, actually. They get locked together on the top line. And I think there's some tempers flaring here. And then Michael Deitch piles into the 48, and Derek with nowhere to go as well. Oh boy. I think this is a. Let's watch with the 3. On the outside here. And maybe a little bit of help from the 9. Bumps the 13, and they get together. And I think Mike might be mad at this point, because at this point they stay together. And just grinding on the top. Michael Deitch tries to go to the bottom. And I guess didn't expect the 48 to pull out. Wasn't low enough on the track. Slams into the back of Spitfire. And the 99 gets in there as well. Thank you, NASCAR fan 9 and 24 for following me on Twitch. So, we got a lot of damaged cars now. That is for sure. Thank you, David Hoots, for subscribing. Put it out. Put it out. Caution flag is out, and Janza in first place. And as this pack will sort of calm down here, it looks like these guys will have to make some pit stops. The fuel window is around 39 laps. Thank you, Citrix, for subscribing. Yeah. Subscribing? Anyways, if these guys pit now, they'll be able to go to around lap 90 on fuel. But they're definitely going to need to stop at least once more after this. As, oh, Michael Deitch in that 57. That is just destroyed. His day is definitely over. Thank you, Koidsman, for subscribing. So the field will bunch up here. We're going to get another busy pit road here. And as expected, all of the lead lap cars are going to jump in and make a pit stop. And I think it'll be 4 tires here. Yep, looks like 4 tire spot for stop for all of the leaders here. And, oh, Janza slowed down a little bit by the 3 getting out of the pits. See if the 00 can beat him out. Not quite. So Janza will win the race off of pit road. And Julio Cesar in that 00 in second. Anthony Plays in third. And then KHP01 picking up a whole bunch of spots, coming out in fourth. Oh no, he's not picking up spots because the timing line is in the start-finish line. So when they pit, it gets a little bit weird. And staying out is, well, just the damaged non-lead lap cars who will are pretty much guaranteed to pit the second time around here. NASCAR Lover 201 in that 3 car. Looks like they cleaned up a lot of the damage on that 3. But he might still suffer from that right side after grinding into the wall with the 13. The 48 of Spitfire back out on track, but obviously with a lot of damage on his car. Chase the Coyote is still running and still in the lead lap, but they've bashed the hood down a little bit. What? Problems for the 25. Under caution. Hits Andrew Fitzy and gets flipped over by the 9. And is stuck sideways. What? I don't know how. What? I mean, I know we've seen that the 25 can make some bad decisions, but I did not expect anything like that. Wow. So Age of Fitzy with a lot of damage in the rear end, and Fireball 398 with the whole front end crunched up. Again. Thanks, Rick Allen's nose, for subscribing. Anything can happen at Daytona. I think that's what we've learned today. Absolutely anything can happen. I mean, it's just chaos, really. It's chaos under green. It's chaos under yellow. It's chaos in the pits. It's chaos when they're pacing. Oh my goodness. And so the 04 of Andrew Fitzy has the whole rear end crunched up. And that car is going to be slow. And the 9 is out of the race. And now, with the 1 to go, they're going to be racing here on lap 53 of 100. Oh my goodness. So we're going to get, well, we're going to get more chaos because it's a double file restart, which means the lap cars start on the bottom, including the 42 and the 83, who are really slow. And the rest of the pack has to try and get around them on the high side. If we ever see a cautions breed cautions kind of situation, this looks exactly like it. Wow. Okay, so let's quickly take a look at the retirements here. In that first wreck, we saw a lot of drivers get, well, crashed out, retire the car. DriveThrough in the 77, Mitchell Collins in the 10, Hunter B in the 78, Jonatron, the 88, the 6, the 29, the 24, 12, the 18 all retired. And then recently, Mike PMC, Derek, and Michael Deitch all retired in an accident. And Fireball 398 in that weird incident under caution is out of the race, as is the 25 of Nan Kraka. So Priya Hirohito and Midlife 9999 are 2 laps down. Hello IMU is only 1 lap down. And with less than half of this Daytona 250 to go, we're in for some exciting racing. Janza leads. Julio Caesar in second, who has been up front all day. And Anthony Plays in the 32 is in third. The pace car pulls in. And these drivers line up. Green flag is out, and we are back underway, racing here at Daytona. And they're already going 3 wide. If there's ever a chance for Hirohito to get one of his laps back, this is it. But I don't know if he'll be able to get past this very slow 83 here. And this whole pack is going to bunch up stuck behind these damaged lap cars. As Adria Fitzy just falls back with that rear end damage she's got. Everyone else trying to find a way past her. That 04 is really slow now. So Jan's out front, Julio Cesar in second. And in third place now is Asteroid Strike 9. As the 32 has a little bit of trouble getting past the 83 here. And Julio Cesar back down to the bottom, trying to take his spot yet again in front of the race. Julio Cesar putting himself in the lead yet again. It's a familiar place for him. And now here comes Asteroid Strike 9 and the 98, right behind the 00 with a good run coming out of turn 4. But no move yet. Julio Cesar back out front. And here comes Asteroid Strike 9 to the inside. Asteroid Strike 9 the lead for the first time today. KHP01 in that number 8 also trying to get to the front. And that 98 car, he's been near the front all day. I don't think he's led a lap yet, so he's going to get those 5 bonus points now. These leaders now going single file pretty quick here, as drivers are still struggling to get around these slow lap cars. It's the 85 of Hello IMU with RacerFan 99 and the 22 stuck behind him. And now he'll finally get past. As Adria Fitzy is just so slow. I mean, just running with Spitfire at the back here. I think the 04 is crunched up in the front and back. They're the slowest cars on track right now. So Jans has made his way back into third, and we've got Ford, Toyota, Ford at the front. And of course that Chevy of KHP01. As Julio has a look to the bottom, but I don't think he'll have a run at the number 9 yet. Adrian, don't spam. I know you're slow, but like, it's a lot of ease. Julio Cesar now unable to make a move at Asteroid Strike 9 here. That 98 is pretty quick. Not sure if they made adjustments or what in that pit stop, but since the restart, I think the 98's been the car to beat here. Well, on lap 59 of 100, if you're still looking to pick a winner, I think it'll be one of these cars in this front little group. I mean, I think these are the few cars without any damage, honestly. The 22 and everyone between him and the 98. This is what remains of your main pack of cars. We've seen a lot of people drop out of this Daytona 250 for various reasons. And with all these incidents, we've really whittled it down to, I think, just 16 cars in this lead group. What are Cody's chances of winning? Well, at this point, it's about 1 in 16, because he is one of these few remaining cars in this little lead group thing. We're seeing a few dropping back a little bit. Hopefully they don't lose draft. And don't lose touch with the rest of this pack here. And it looks like at this point the 98 and the 00 are the cars to beat. We saw the 53, the big one 53.95 was really quick for the first 20 laps or so, but I don't know, he's sort of had a mediocre performance since then. Or he's just waiting till the end of the race to make a move again. Again, we don't really know how much some of these guys are holding back because we still have 40 laps of racing to go through. There's a lot more action yet to be had. Tropical I would, but I don't think I have his outro music. Or wait. I don't know if I do. I don't think I do. Jesse Boston in the 30s made his way into second place. Looks like some of these remaining cars have realized that they have a chance now at this win. Kevin McLoaf? McLeod, yeah, I know. And now Jesse Boston to the inside, but DNP10 to the inside of him doesn't quite get his nose under the number 30 to the bottom, maybe to the lead of the race. New leader, number 30, that Dr. Pepper Ford Fusion of Jesse Boston. With a little bit of help from the 18, gets out front. And this lead little group is closing in a little bit. And as they battle for second, Jesse Boston's pulling away a little bit. As KHP01 in the 8 trying to hold off the rest of this pack, but Kumon Cup Series in the 44 with a push from Jenza on the bottom, getting to second place. This 44 has spent a lot of time in second place, and still Kumon Cup Series has not led a single lap. He has come so close. Maybe he'll try to get that 44 Camry out front again. He's been in the lead, but he just hasn't been in the lead as they cross the start-finish line. So the 8 pushing the 44, getting up to the back of Jesse Boston here, but not making a move yet. Maybe he's trying to go, and he's going to go up high, and the 8's going to come up the bottom. KHPL1's in second place now. And Jesse Boston's still in the lead as we're approaching the 2/3 point of this Daytona 250. This lead group of 15 cars is probably where we're going to get our race winner from. As you can see, the 23 of to AFK Masters just lost the draft of these guys falling back, and without a caution he won't be able to challenge for a win. But I think we've seen in this race so far the cautions can be pretty frequent. I wouldn't count the 23 out just yet, as Kumon Cup Series in the 44 is back up into second place. Who's in the 47? Jans is in the 47. And now Kumon Cup Series right up to the back of Jesse Boston. I think he had the run to make a move, but he's just not going for it yet. And although they've pulled away from the pack a little bit here, he may be waiting to make his move, because I think last time he went to the bottom for turn 3, he'd lost the lead by the time they got back around to the tri-oval. That outside line in turn 4 can sometimes be a little bit faster than the bottom. So let's see. They're catching up to a group of lapped cars now. This will be interesting. The 48 of Spitfire, Priya in the 42, and the 04 of Adria Fitzy. And these guys are really catching up now. This will definitely shake things up. Tropical, I'll tell you their numbers if you just ask. And here comes Jesse Boston in Kumon Cup Series catching up to Adria Fitzy. She's going to go a lap down for the first time. They're going to try to go around the outside, but Priya goes to the bottom and going to hold up some of the leaders. Jesse Boston's going to try and make it happen out high. But Kumon Cup Series is going to wait until the backstretch and maybe try and make the move on the bottom out of the top of the track with KHP01 behind him. And when the pack closes up on 3-lap cars, I think we know they're going to really get held up. And Jesse Boston first to get around them, and Luke Rainey does a good job of navigating through those back markers, putting himself in second place. Remember, this too started in 42nd, dead last, and he's had some really good runs today. So now hoping to close in on the 30 down the backstretch here. Now he's closed right up on Jesse Boston, but not making a move just yet. He's going to try the outside with a push from the 98. But the 98's going to leave him. Asteroid Strike 9 also trying to get into the lead. As this pack has lost a little bit of time to Jesse Boston and these few guys out front, just getting through those lap cars. As we're on lap number 70 of 100 here. And we're seeing a clear gap here between 8th place and the rest of these guys who had a little bit more trouble getting through those lapped cars. So KHP, Janza, the big one, Cody H Gaming, Anthony Plays, these guys are going to have to work together if they want to get back into this fight for the lead here. As we're seeing someone... Oh, Adria Fitzy made a quick pit stop. Maybe to extend a run, maybe to fix some damage. Actually, yeah, they've pulled the rear panel off that car now, so trying to find a little bit more speed, maybe. As we can see these two distinct packs of cars now. Keep an eye on the gap in the top left corner. You can see it the last time around at the start-finish line. Janza was at the head of that second pack, 2.3 seconds behind the leaders. But as long as these guys aren't battling each other, which I guess they're doing a little bit of now, they will be faster than that secondary group. So 2.35 last time around, 2.62 this time around. That second group of cars is falling back a little bit. But they're trying to line up now, maybe able to close that gap. TNT asks, is there any sort of playoff system? Yes. If you watch like my introductory sign-up video, it talks about it, but there's like a playoff chase format. So yes, whoever wins this race will be locked in to the chase. And I mean, Jesse Boston has led so many laps here, it might be him. Let's find where the 00 is. Julio Cesar is in the second group of cars, so just unfortunate, had trouble getting through those lappers, and now these guys are losing about 0.3 a lap to the leaders. I mean, running too wide like this, there's no way they're going to be able to catch up to Jesse Boston and this group of cars out front. And here comes Asteroid Strike 9 to the inside, back up into second place. See if there's any lappers up ahead. Yeah, the 83 and the 7. So that's Chase the Coyote and Midlife 9999. Although they're going decently quick. Certainly quicker than the 04 the 42 were. And just falling back from the lead group, the 3 of NASCAR Lover 201. We know he's got damage for that incident with the 13. LaFlinzone with damage from a previous incident. Same with Emmett Lashbrook. These 3 have been running together, but pretty far back from the leaders now. Oh, trouble now. The 98. Pure in the 61 and Ben Pye in the 20 all involved. And they're plowed into by the big one. And Jens on the 47. Racer Fan 99 in the 22 as well. Big wreck. And on lap 74, more drama. The 98 was running in second place. At the front here, you can see Pure in the 61. DNP 10 trying to make a move for second place here. The 18 thought he was clear, but gets into the 98, and the rest of these guys just nowhere to go. And as the 20 comes back down across the track, the rest of the pack still going very quickly, just with nowhere to go. And a whole bunch of our contenders for the win are out of this race. So let's go on board with Asteroid Strike. He's on the outside. DNP 10 is there. I think the 18 thinks he's clear. They make a little bit of contact. And it's just resulting from that. Pure goes around. The 20 has nowhere to go. They come down the track and just get slammed into by that second pack. And the big one, 53.95, is going to end this race on his roof. Tries to go to the bottom, but the 20 comes back down the track. I guess he thought Ben Pye was going to stay up high. And Julio Caesar in the 00, big damage after, I think, leading the most laps of this race. Pure in the 61 is destroyed. Oh my goodness. And for all of these non-damaged cars, those are a bunch of positions they're gaining. Julio Caesar has been at the front all day. It's just unfortunate. Ended up in that second chasing group and a whole bunch of damage to that 00 car. I think that entire second group was wiped out. Let's see this. I think they got scared of the wreck and they're up against the wall where that safer barrier starts. Cody H Gaming and the 28 or the 8, sorry, of HPO1 get together and just plow into this mess. But minimal damage for the 8 and the 28, actually, by wrecking each other. Kind of ended up making it through there. You can see there's damage to the right side of both of these cars, but it's definitely not as significant as, say, the 32 or the 00. And for all of these guys that have sort of lost track of the main group, I mean, F1 Fan in the 84, this caution will give him a chance to get right up with the leaders. How do I make them, like, come up on each other? What do you mean? I don't know what that means, come up on each other. So with only 25 laps to go, everyone should be able to pit and get to the end of the race. So let's see. I think we're going to go 4 tires for all of these. As you can see, the 20 of Ben Pye 1024 retiring. Jesse Boston goes 2 tires only, as does the 44. So it looks like 2 tire stops for most of these lead cars. The 23 is going for 4. I don't know if that'll make a big difference. I mean, with only less than 25 laps here at Daytona, I don't know if getting 4 tires instead of 2 will be really important, but it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. So, where is he? That's number 23 of the AFK Master. With 4 fresh tires. I think everyone else stuck only 2 on. Except, I think Cody went for 4. Yes, Cody went for 4. The number 8 went for 4. And then some of the lappers did, but it looks like generally 2 tires is the way to go. So let's jump back to real time here. And with that wreck, we're going to start with just a few laps remaining now. Oh boy. So, more drama, and, well, who's left in contention for the win? Jesse Boston in the 30, the 2 of Luke Rainey, the 01 of Xander M, Kumon Cup Series in the 44, the 85 we know is a lap down and has damage, Rusty Fighter 89, who wasn't in that lead group of 16 cars, but was far back behind enough to avoid the wreck, and I think he still has a clean car, and therefore a chance at this win. Same with F1 Fan 2751. LaFlynn Zone 37 we know has damage. Emmett Lashbrook, I think, still has a clean car. To AFK Master, now with 4 fresh tires, could be a chance at the win here. KHP01 with a little bit of damage on the right side, but maybe enough speed to use the draft and bring himself back up to the front. Same with Cody H Gaming. And NASCAR Lover 201 we know has a lot of damage. DNP 10 probably with quite a bit of damage now. And let's look at who we just lost there. Asteroid Strike 9 running in second place out of the race. RacerFan 99 also is going to retire. BenPie 1024 is out. Janza in the 47. Such a good run for an outside 35 driver out of the race. The big one 53.95, he led all of the laps early on out of the race. Julio Caesar, he led all of the laps in the middle out of the race. And then Pure in the 61 out of the race. Same with Anthony Plays 32. We're seeing a trend. We're seeing a trend where, I mean, if you do well, you're going to get wrecked out. We know Hirohito dominated his duel, and then had trouble in the pits, and now he's a lap down. Priya McShane in the 42 dominated her duel, and then just got wrecked out early on. The big 153 led early on, got destroyed. The 00 Julio Caesar led early on, also out in this wreck. And who's left at the front? Jesse Boston in the number 30. We have Ford's first, second, and third. And this is going to be a quick little run to the finish. They're going to have 22 laps until the end. Oh boy. Adrian, I'll have you know, my panic decel is set to 1,200. I tried my best. To prevent these guys from just ARCA breaking into each other, but NR 2003 has something against me. I literally set it to 1,200 and they still ARCA break into absolutely everything. I think it's a track thing, but I'm not sure. Look at how small this pack is. This is all that remains in the race. And they're going to duke it out for 21 laps. The pace car pulls in. Green flag is out yet again here at Daytona. Jesse Boston gets a really good start. Maybe he'll be able to clear Aja by the time they get into turn 1. And they're going 3 wide now. These lapped cars are holding up the entire inside line. And Jesse Boston, starting first, is able to pull away. Xander M in the 01 gets past these lappers pretty quickly. And if they can get past Hello I'm You in the 85, Luke Rainey has a look to the bottom but just can't make the move yet. At least these guys shouldn't be too worried, because whatever Jesse Boston gets out in front now, they'll work together and they'll be able to make up the ground on him for sure. So they're going to go 3 wide. Xander M with a push from Kumon Cup Series to the bottom now, into second place. As we look to the back of the pack, where a lot of these guys are struggling to get through the lap cars, you can see the 23, the 28, the 8. They're still going to be stuck behind Adrian Fitzy. That's Emmett Lashbrook in the 08. And now this lead group of cars is reduced to just 7 on the lead lap. So Kumon Cup Series, remember, he hasn't led a lap yet. He's been at the front, he's been in second, he's avoided all the carnage. And I think that 44 has a chance at the win here. Luke Rainey trying to get a nose to the inside, can't quite do it yet. And into the picture at the front for the first time, it's Rusty Fighter in that awesome Michael Waltrip throwback number 55. He's going to push Luke Rainey to the inside. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead coming into turn 3 here. Luke Rainey on the bottom. Now it's Kumon Cup Series up high. Coming out of turn 4, who's going to be able to lead this lap? I think the 44's got the run out of the turn, and for the first time today, the NASCAR Kumon Cup Series will lead a lap and get those 5 bonus points. And immediately lose that lead because here comes Zander M in the 01 all the way in the bottom. I think the 44 will be happy with those 5 points. Maybe drop back and just kind of stay with this group for now because there's a lot of racing yet to be had. Less than 20 to go, but one of these guys is going to win this race. Except for the 85 and the 45 because they're both a lap down. But both with clean cars, they're actually racing each other. And with that, Rusty Fighter 89 is able to lead a lap for himself and pull away from the pack a little bit. So it's 5 bonus points for the 55. And out of turn 2, they come Zander M right behind him. And that 01 Doritos car to the bottom. Back in the lead for him, maybe? And Hirohito behind them had huge problems on pit road. He's a lap down. But if he can get to the front of this group and have a caution come out, he'll be able to get that lap back and then maybe challenge for the win because he's got a clean race car. So despite being a lap down for the entire race, the 45 still has a glimmer of hope. Coming out of turn 2, Jesse Boston in the 30. He's worked his way through this little group, back up into second place, and we know that car is fast. Down to the bottom of the 01, trying to put himself back in the lead here. Yes, Hirohito is the Emperor of Imperial Japan, or was. And his username is Mishinomiya Hirohito, which is a mouthful, and it is named after the Emperor. So, you know, congrats on your history there. So Jesse Boston back out front, but it's the Kumon Cup Series to the bottom. This time making the move a little bit earlier down the backstretch. Maybe he can actually keep the lead. He's led 1 lap and then lost the lead immediately. He's been in the lead without leading laps. And now the 44 to the bottom, trying to make this one stick. But he doesn't really have any help behind him. We'll see if Jesse Boston gets a good push out of turn 4. No, Kumon Cup Series in that Canadian Tire, number 44, into the lead with only 15 laps to go. Coming into turn 2, Jesse Boston is holding his own on the outside line. He got a big push from Rusty, but I don't know if he can defend the lead from that spot. Here comes Luke Rainey into 3rd place. I don't know if he's led a lap yet. I'm trying to remember. He's been around the front, but I don't know if the 2 has led a lap. Either way, no, as these laps tick down, without a caution, it's going to be a close battle to the win here. Let's see if there's any lap cars to deal with. These guys aren't actually too far off of the leaders. But I think this little group of slow lap cars will definitely get in the way at least once before the end of this race. And it'll be really important to see how well these leaders can get around them. So only 7 cars left in this fight for the win. It's the 44 of Kumon Cup Series, the 2 of Luke Rainey, Jesse Boston in the 30, Zander M in the 01, Rusty Fighter in the 55, F1 Fan in the 84, and La Flynn Zone in the 38. Luke Rainey in second place, able to close in a little bit on the Kumon Cup Series. Can he make a move for the lead here? Nordic Conraj asks, what series are these cars from? I painted them. Almost all of them I painted myself. And it took a long time. But the 2 painted his own, as did the 45. But, like, and Cody in the 28. But pretty much everyone else I painted. So yeah, it's all fake cars for my own league. And that's why all the banners have a nice little DriveThrough logo. I think it looks cool. Luke Rainey was able to catch up to the 44, but couldn't really make a move for the lead. And we see Jesse Boston's going to try and put himself back into position to get back in the lead. The 30 has led a handful of laps. Who drives the 30? That's Mr. Jesse Boston. And he has been quick today, leading a whole bunch of laps. And it looks like Flynn in the 38 and F1 Fan kind of falling back. It may just be a 5-car run to the finish here. Jesse right on the back of the 44. He's not going to make a move just yet. I think he's being a little bit patient. Because he knows once you get to the end of the race, with maybe about 2 to go, first place can be one of the worst positions to be in. As we've seen a lot in Daytona, the racing can get really intense at the very end. So, now with just 10 to go in the Daytona 250, 4 cars way out front, maybe battling for the lead. Jesse Boston behind the 44 again. Maybe he'll make a move for the lead now. No, he had the run, but he's just staying behind the 44, staying patient, waiting for the right time to make that move. So let's look at the lapped cars now. I think, or I hope, we don't have to deal with those lappers before the end of the race, because that would be perfect. I do not want to see lappers on the final lap decide the end of the race, but hey, if it happens, it does. Luke Rainey to the bottom. A big move, trying to put himself back into second place. This 2 and the 30 have been battling for a little bit now. And Kumon Cup Series has led a handful of laps now. So chat, take your picks now. Who is going to win this race? With less than 10 to go, can the 44 hold them off? Will Luke Rainey be able to win from last place? Can Jesse Boston continue this dominant second half of the race? Or will the 01 of Zander M make some late race moves and put himself in the lead? Can Rusty Fighter in the 55 make it happen? Who's your pick? Everyone on the lead lap wrecks. The 01 has definitely got momentum. That's for sure. Down the back straightaway they come. With just over 7 laps to go, Luke Rainey still behind the 44 of Kumon Cup Series. And will Hirohito in the 45 come into play here? The only lap down car amongst these 5 leaders. Certainly interesting. Kumon Cup Series still out front. And Rusty Fighter in the 55 up into third place. He's made some big moves. Here he goes to the bottom again, but Jesse Boston's going to leave him hanging. Hirohito's going to come down, and maybe that 45 is going to be able to put himself back on the lead lap by getting past the 44, but it'll certainly be interesting if he gets in the way of some of these lead lap cars. Speaking of being in the way of these lead lap cars, we see these slow lappers are now going 3 wide, which is going to slow them down. And with just 6 laps left, they might get in the way. They might decide the race. Again, it's Daytona, and anything can happen. But for now, down the back straightaway, it's Hirohito who's a lap down still, but in second of this little group, despite not actually being in second place. He's actually in 17th because we have 16 cars in the lead lap. Or, wait, nope, we have 14 cars in the lead lap, and Hirohito is 2 laps down. And Rusty in the 55 trying to find a way past the 45. And I think they're going to hit these lappers with about 2 to go, as we have less than 5 laps left. Here comes Rusty Fighter, 89, with a big run in the 44. He sat back a little bit, but I think now that 55 is starting to make his moves. But looming in front of them, we have 4 lap cars, and I don't know if they can go anywhere to get out of the way. I'm losing my voice. The 44 is losing that gap he had in the front. Thank you, David Reynolds, for subscribing. And now it'll be a challenge. Who can get past these lap cars more cleanly? You have to do some really careful racing now. The 44 is going to go down to the bottom 3 wide. Jesse Boston's on the bottom 2. Rusty Fighter's going to be on the top. A caution now will end the race. They're going 3 wide. Jesse Boston to the bottom. Contact between him and the 44. Adria Fitzy gets turned around into the top. They managed to keep it straight. Hirohito in the wall with the 48. Rusty Fighter slowed down. And is there no caution? Jesse Boston in the lead now with the 44 in second. Luke Rainey in third. And it's the 01 of Xander M in fourth. A whole lot of wrecking, and it slows down the 55. But no caution. They're going to let these guys race it out. Jesse Boston held up behind Priya McShane yet again. Thank you for subscribing, One Hit Bracket, and Dylan Kroom. Can Jesse make it work? He's going to the bottom 3 wide. We have 2.5 laps left. Luke Rainey's behind him. They're going to get past these lappers. I don't think there's anyone else in front of them they have to worry about. It's the 30 and the 2 out front. Kumon Cup Series gets stuck behind the 42. The 01 of Xander M a little bit further back now.
But, oh, he can't do that.
Mitchell, thanks for subscribing on your other account, I guess. 2 laps left in the Daytona 250, and we have 2 cars way out front. It's Jesse Boston in the 30 and Luke Rainey in the 2. And when does the 2 make his move? And can the 01 catch them? I was really concerned we'd have to end this race under caution, but I'm glad we're able to race it out. Here comes Luke Rainey having a look to the bottom. I don't think he can get a bumper to the inside of the 30. They are right on each other. Jesse Boston aggressively blocking. Here comes the 01 of Xander M. As we're going to approach the white flag with 1 lap to go, it is a 3-car shootout at the front. And can Kumon Cup Series jump up in there? Here comes Xander M to the bottom, trying to get into second place. Maybe he can make a move on the 30. Luke Rainey cuts him off. Tropical Cyclone, stop abusing the subscription thing. Jesse Boston out front. Luke Rainey in second. Down the back straightaway. Who's going to make the moves? The 01 and the 44 go to the bottom. The 2 and the 30 are at the top. Thank you, Landon Racing 24 for subscribing. Here comes Luke Rainey to the bottom. Getting to the inside of Jesse Boston. They're going to go too wide through turns 3 and 4. Can Jesse get a run out of turn 4? Can Luke Rainey win from 42nd position? Here they come out of turn 4. They're side by side. The 30 up top of the push from the 01. Luke Rainey's going to get the nose up. And the number 2, Luke Rainey's going to win the race to the line from 42nd place back to front. Made the move at exactly the right time. What a win for the 2 car. What a finish. 2 by 2 at the line. Oh my gosh, Jesse Boston gets past. He's going to finish second. I told you guys, I said it. Being in first place with 2 to go might not be the best position. Luke Rainey made the move at the right time. Kumon Cup Series is going to finish third. And wow, Xander M's going to end up 4th. What a finish. Have you ever? What a run of the line. I tell you what, if this is any saying how this season is going to be, it is certainly exciting. What a run. Luke Rainey just staying out of trouble from the back. From the very back. From 42nd. Let's look at this finish again. Oh my goodness. Coming down the back straight, the 44 is trying to go to the bottom, and Luke all the way to the bottom with the run in the 30. Nothing Jesse Boston can do. He's hoping for a push from the 01 at this point. And coming out of turn 4, he gets a bit of speed, but look at the gap at the line. What a finish. I mean, that 2 car just making the move at exactly the right time. And nothing Jesse Boston can do. I think he led the most laps today, but Luke Rainey leads the most important one. I think Luke might have left, honestly, but you'll certainly see this later, and congratulations. That is quite a victory. The 2 car at the line. Oh my gosh. The gap was 0.03 of a second. 300 seconds. So, stick around, y'all, because we've got some victory celebrations to take place. Let's go through the standings, the official standings from the first round. I'm going to save these as DriveThrough Sim Series 01, the Daytona 250. Whew. So, Luke Rainey wins it by 3.5 hundredths of a second. The 44 of Kumon Cup Series just noses out Xander M in the 01. Rusty Fighter getting involved in a little bit of carnage near the end. Actually, let's look at that, because, I mean, Rusty was in a position, he was in second place, wasn't he? And Adria Fitzy in the 04, just, I knew there was going to be some drama when they caught up to those lapped cars, but I didn't think it would end the way that it did. It's Kumon Cup Series who tries to take them on the bottom. Jesse Boston goes to the inside of them, and now they're going 4 wide, and that's never going to work. So, Kumon Cup Series just gets squeezed in the middle here. And Adria Fitzy goes across into the 48 up top, and Hirohito's in the wall. The 48 goes around, like, the 04 is backwards. Rusty Fighter's just caught up in it, and no caution. So, a great job by NASCAR to not throw out the yellow, because that would have ended the race. And with that caution, we were able to get that incredible finish of Luke Rainey catching up to the 30, getting through the lap traffic quickly, and just waiting, making his move, and winning the race. What a finish. What a crazy race. Tune in next week. Next Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern. I don't know if it can get any better than this, but we'll see if it does. We're going to be at Iowa Speedway for the Corn 150. We'll see some short track action. Luke Rainey has locked himself into the DriveThrough Sim Series chase with that win, and that 2 car is taking an early lead in the point standings. So, if you haven't liked the stream and you actually enjoyed watching this, give me a like. Give me a like for that finish. Are you kidding me? 2x2 at the line. What a finish! What a race! I can't believe how exciting that was. We saw carnage. We saw drama. We saw the 2 coming from last place to first, making the move, coming into turn 3. Iowa's going to be interesting, that's for sure. And I think the 42 is not going to have a whole lot of friends, but let's see some donuts, shall we? I think the 2 deserve some donuts. So Luke Rainey wins. Let's see a little victory celebration from that 2 car, as Luke Rainey is our race winner. Let's find his paint here in that snap-on Ford Fusion, and I think we're going to end the stream with some donuts. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Remember, next week we're in Iowa. Even if signups are closed for the series, I would suggest joining the Discord, just because there's cool stuff that you don't see otherwise in there. So join the Discord, links in the description. We also chat about other NASCAR stuff, real life things. It's interesting. It's a lot of fun. I'm certainly active in there. Follow me on Twitter if you're interested in that. There's some behind the scenes stuff that goes up on there, and whatever I want to tweet about goes in there. Let's end it off with some donuts and, of course, the victory music. So the 2's going to pull up to the line here, and let's get these donuts underway, shall we?